Welcome back to Warriors News Fan Report, where every heartbeat of Dub Nation gets amplified, every rumor gets dissected, and every spark of possibility for the Golden State Warriors is brought right to your screen. Before we dive into today's story, one that could shift the very makeup of this roster, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report, and turn on notifications so you're the first to know when big news breaks. Because what we're about to talk about could be one of those rare moves that changes everything we thought we knew about this offseason. Now, let's set the stage. The Warriors, with Stephen Curry still carrying the torch, are at a point where every decision matters. Every move or lack thereof shapes the thin line between another championship push and fading into the shadows of the Western Conference's rising powers. And yet, here we are deep into the offseason, and the front office has been oddly quiet. No splashy trade involving Jonathan Kuminga. No bold re-signing beyond the expected. Sure, they made the calculated choice not to chase Gary Payton II back into the fold, and they passed on securing Al Horford's veteran leadership. Each non-move adds to the tension, like a chess player staring down the clock, waiting for the Kauchi perfect opening to strike. And now, there's this. Whispers are getting louder, swirling through the league about a player who might just be the missing puzzle piece. Not in his prime anymore, sure, but still dangerous in the right role. Someone with championship scars, a history of playing alongside the best, and the ability to step into high-pressure moments without blinking. The kind of player who can not only fill a need, but also change the rhythm and texture of the Warriors' offense. Could this be the last opportunity to give Curry the kind of supporting cast that maximizes his remaining peak years? Could this be the final card the front office has been holding all along? The truth is, this isn't just about adding a name to the roster. This is about chemistry, timing, and finding a player who can slot into the Warriors' unique system, one built on movement, passing, and an almost telepathic connection between teammates. This player, standing at 6'8", has a career. Average north of 16 points per game. Think about that. A long career, a natural decline in minutes and touches over the last few seasons. And yet the numbers still hold. That's a testament not only to his scoring ability, but to his adaptability. We've seen him as a dominant interior presence in his early years. A walking 20 and minus 10 machine. And later, as the game shifted, we watched him morph into a stretch big who could pull defenders out to the perimeter and punish them with the three. Imagine pairing that kind of skill set with Curry, the spacing, the mismatches, the options in the half court. For a team that thrives on creating chaos for defenses, having a forward who can rebound, hit threes, and pass out of the post would open up layers of offense that have been dormant since the prime days of the dynasty. And yes, we have to be honest, he's not the player he was during his all-star years. But the Warriors don't need him to be that. They need him to be smart, consistent, and opportunistic. Some fans will remember his most iconic moments not from his scoring, but from his grit. His role in one of the most improbable comebacks in finals history. The way he defended a superstar on the perimeter in the game's dying moments, securing a championship that looked lost. Those are the kind of experiences you can't teach. The kind you bring into a locker room to remind everyone what it takes to climb the mountain. And let's be real, as much as we talk about skill and stats, the Warriors have always thrived when their roster has the right mix of savvy veterans and hungry role players. The rumor mill says this veteran big man is looking for a way out of his current situation. It's not a messy exit, no drama. No headlines about clashes with coaches, just a realization that the fit isn't there anymore, that there's one last chapter to be written somewhere he can matter. And with the Warriors striking out on their earlier targets, could the timing be any better? You can almost see it, him setting a high screen for Curry, then slipping into open space. Him grabbing a defensive board and immediately launching the outlet pass to start the break. Him drilling a corner three off of Draymond Green. Kick out while the defense scrambles to close on Klay Thompson. Some insiders believe the Warriors Front office has been waiting for exactly this kind of opportunity, a move that doesn't cost them young core pieces, doesn't blow up the cap, but still adds someone who changes the game on both ends. And while no one's saying this is a done deal, the smoke is thick enough to make you wonder if the fire is just about ready to spark. Could this be the move that bridges the gap between the Curry era and whatever comes next? Could this be the piece that allows the Warriors to squeeze one more run out of this core before the inevitable rebuild? That's the question hanging over the Bay right now. Fans are buzzing, split between those who think it's exactly the kind of veteran signing that could steady the ship, and those who fear it's a move made too late, a name recognition play rather than a real game changer. But even the skeptics admit, if there's anywhere this player could find the perfect role, it's in Golden State's system, surrounded by playmakers, shooters, and a coach who knows how to put his pieces in the best possible positions. And as we sit here, the idea of seeing him in Warriors blue and gold isn't just a pipe dream anymore. The path is there. The need is clear. The only thing left is for the front office to decide whether to take the swing. And in a season where the margin for error is smaller than ever, this might just be the swing that decides the story of 2024 to 25. What's wild is how perfectly the timing lines up. A player with championship pedigree available just as the Warriors are staring down the possibility of a stagnant offseason. It feels like one of those moments where everything either comes together or slips away in silence. The anticipation is real, and if you're a Warriors fan, you can't help but feel that tingle of possibility, the sense that something big might be right around the corner. And what about Bronny James? For weeks, there's been an undercurrent of excitement around his arrival, a buzz about his potential as a two-way development project. Who could learn under the brightest lights without the suffocating pressure of being the guy from day one? Fans imagine him cutting baseline, locking in on defense, soaking up every ounce of wisdom from veterans like Curry, Clay, and Draymond, slowly carving out his identity in the league. But if the Warriors decide to push all their chips into the middle of the table and fully commit to a win-now mode with a blockbuster addition like Luka Doncic, Bronny's trajectory could be altered dramatically. Instead of patient minutes and experimental lineups, he might find himself watching from the bench during high-leverage stretches, development taking a backseat to the relentless pursuit of another title. It's the kind of sacrifice young players often face on contending teams. And for someone with the eyes of the basketball world already on him, that dynamic could shape his early career in ways nobody anticipated. Then there's Draymond Green, not just the heart and soul of this team, but the emotional thermostat, the vocal leader, the defensive anchor, and yes, occasionally, the wildfire that can burn both ways. The question isn't just whether he can fit next to Curry and Luka. It's whether he can redefine his role in a system where two high-usage guards control the offensive tempo. In theory, Draymond's vision and passing could elevate a Curry-Luka pairing into one of the most lethal combinations in NBA history, turning every possession into a chess match where defenses never know which angle the attack will come from. But some insiders are already whispering that if Draymond isn't fully on board with such a seismic shift, if he feels his influence or touches being minimized, it could test locker room chemistry in ways we haven't seen since the Durant era, a period marked by both unprecedented dominance and undeniable tension. And that's the gamble. Can this front office manage not just the talent on the floor, but the egos, the relationships, and the delicate balance of a team that's thrived on its unique identity for over a decade? Around the league, the reaction to such a move would be nothing short of instant and seismic. The Nuggets, with Nikola Jokic's all-around dominance, would have to prepare for a Warriors team capable of stretching the floor in ways even they haven't had to defend. Imagine Jokic, already tasked with orchestrating Denver's offense, now having to rotate and contest on the perimeter against a lineup where Curry and Luka feed off each other's gravity while shooters wait in the corners. The Thunder, brimming with young talent, length, and switchability, would be forced to consider whether their defensive versatility is enough to contain two of the most creative scorers the game has ever seen. each capable of dissecting mismatches and exploiting any defensive lapse. And the Clippers? Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, both on the clock in their own championship windows, would suddenly feel that window slam a little tighter, knowing Golden State's firepower just went nuclear. The playoff implications are colossal. Luka's ability to shoulder massive offensive loads could give Curry fresher legs deep into May and June, directly addressing the late series fatigue we've seen in past runs. Golden State's spacing could return to peak dynasty levels, with Curry and Luka pulling defenders so far out of position that it opens up driving lanes and backdoor cuts for role players. In a 7-game series, that kind of offensive efficiency might be the difference between a heartbreaking conference finals exit and a championship parade down Market Street. You can practically hear the ripple effects, coaches scrambling to redesign defensive schemes, teams reshuffling their rosters to try and keep up, and analysts debating if this is the greatest offensive backcourt ever assembled. And off the court, the noise would be deafening. On social media, takes would explode. Andre Iguodala has already tweeted a single thinking face emoji in response to earlier rumors, and it's racked up thousands of retweets from fans dissecting its meaning. Roy is reportedly monitoring developments, which in NBA language often means the wheels are already turning. Shams dropped a cryptic line about a Western contender evaluating a transformative trade scenario, which has only poured gasoline on the speculation fire. Mavericks fans are reluctantly posting mock-ups of Luka in blue and gold, admitting that while it would sting, the basketball fit is terrifying. Meanwhile, Dub Nation is split. One side is screaming, "Pull the trigger," while the other warns against gutting the future, pointing to the risk of mortgaging years of development for what might be just a 2 or 3 year window. Still, as a fan, you can't deny the electricity that courses through your veins when you picture Curry curling off a screen while Luka threads a no-look pass into his shooting pocket, or Luka isolating on the block while Curry dances around the arc, drawing 2 defenders just to open up a back-cut layup. It's basketball poetry, the kind of vision that makes you forget about contracts, draft picks, and long-term plans, if only for a moment. Could this be bold enough to bring another banner to Chase Center? Personally, as a ride-or-die member of Dub Nation, I believe moments like this are why dynasties exist in the first place, to take the kind of swing that could immortalize an era, even if it means walking the tightrope between glory and collapse. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts, and subscribe to Warriors News Fan Report so you never miss another explosive update.